Hello, everyone. I'm Linda Brayman, and this is Senior Moments. November is that transitional season when the delightful, cool weather starts to turn colder, and we hold our breath wondering if the first snowfall will happen before November ends. You don't have to wonder about Senior Moments. We're always here. Senior Moments covers events and activities at senior centers in the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti area, such as the Ann Arbor Senior Center, Turner Resource Center, the Pittsfield Senior Center, and the Ann Arbor Community Center. Also, the show provides valuable information for senior citizens on such issues as health, wealth, finance, and entertainment. Senior Moments is a monthly show. It premieres on the last Sunday of the month at 5 p.m. and it reruns 10 times a week on CTN Channel 16. Please check out our website, a2gov.org/CTN, for the playback schedule. Also, you can watch the show on YouTube. Please log on to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to view current and archive shows. Well, November may not be very exciting for you, but remember, it won't be too long before you've got to shovel snow. So keep up your spirits and stay healthy. Hello, you are watching Senior Moments. I'm your host, Linda Brayman. Today we have Brittany Patton once again. Brittany is the Recreation Supervisor for the Ann Arbor Senior Center, and we're always happy to see her. Welcome back, Brittany.
Thank you, Linda. It's so nice to be back.
I have noticed some exciting new classes on your website, and I am anxious to learn about them. But first, let's make sure that everyone knows where the Ann Arbor Senior Center is located.
We are located, Linda, in Ann Arbor in a neighborhood called Burns Park, right by the Burns Park Elementary. And our address is 1320 Baldwin Drive, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48104.
All right. And I know you have a lot of activities going on all the time. So what is it going to cost people to become a member?
Oh, thank you for asking. So our membership, it's an annual membership that's $25 a year for an individual or $35 a year for a household. So if you have two seniors living together, a couple, or just roommates, it's $35 for both of them. So you get that $10 discount. And the membership will also have availability for a scholarship if the fee is something that isn't attainable by some of our customers.
Oh, very good. Now, have you totally tossed the COVID restrictions?
We don't require that people wear masks, but it is highly encouraged. So we do still have hand sanitizer available at all corners of the facility. We have masks available, and we do have signs just recommending and reminding people that wearing a mask is a smart protocol to follow.
Okay, very good. Now, are you still doing activities for other age groups? I know last time we talked, that was one thing you had added.
Yeah, so we do activities that can include some students. So some of our virtual programs like trivia and mind matters, we have high school and college students that join us and play along with the games. And then we have some seasonal activities that are not only for seniors, but for their families, so their children and grandchildren. Actually, we have one tonight. It's a trunk or treat Halloween party in our parking lot. So there'll be a bounce house and there'll be snacks and hot cocoa and popcorn. So we try to use the holidays to, integrate seniors and their families together.
I think that's great. I work on some things that are intergenerational, and I just love having younger people. They have such fresh ideas.
Right. We can all bounce and learn so much off of each other.
Exactly. Now, also, you've been having interactive classes. I'm sorry, I didn't say that very well. You have had interactive classes with other senior centers. What do you do with them and how is that going?
It's going really well. So one of our most common activities that we partner with other senior serving agencies are our drive-through events.
Yeah.
And those happen once a month. I'm sure you remember. They are a Wednesday, usually in the middle of the month from noon to 1, so lunchtime. And we invite another senior serving agency to host, and they'll put together goodie bags that include treats and flyers about their programming. And then we have people pull up in the parking lot, and if they're comfortable with getting out of the car and mingling, we have people that stand outside on the sidewalk and get to know each other. And especially with the cold weather coming up, we'll for sure be able to continue doing it where people can just pass by in their car and not have to get out in the cold. Or if you feel comfortable mingling and getting outside and having snacks with other people, you're welcome to do that as well.
Nice. That sounds like so much fun. I really was just tickled with the drive-through stuff anyway when you did that. I thought that was so clever. Now we're getting down to some business here. Let me read you some of the classes that I'm excited about, and maybe you can tell us more specifics. I personally would like to know how each one would help me, and I'm sure others would too. So here we go, and you can talk about all of them or just a few of them or whatever you feel comfortable with. But these were the ones that I really thought looked interesting. Weekly Wednesday workshops, medication and herbal supplements. Now, since this is weekly, I assume that you have more topics than this, but so you can talk about one that's already passed or whatever. And then we go on to brain games, cognitive exercises, mindful meditation, planning ahead with Washtenaw Memorial. I have to tell you, I kind of chuckled at that. And workshops for families in need of caregiving. So now, can you give us the skinny on these classes, the benefits and how they operate?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to. So a few of those that you mentioned. So we have the Wednesday workshops. So you had mentioned the medication and herbal supplements, and the planning ahead with Washtenaw Memorial. Those are two of our Wednesday workshops, and every week we feature a different company or individual that provides some sort of service that they would like to educate the community about. So we've had people, like one of our most popular ones is navigating computers and tech security. And so we have a couple of local whizzes on the computers that come and they speak and teach seniors how to protect themselves or set up from scams, and how to set up email, and people can bring their laptops, tablets, and phones and ask any questions about how to do things on them and have an expert show them. The Washtenaw Memorial education for planning ahead. It's a memorial service company that talks to seniors or their families just about the burial services and how to have things in place for when people pass, just so there aren't any surprises. We've had some Medicare seminars that instruct people on how to apply for Medicare and Medicaid. We've had some art therapy workshops where we've had an art therapist come in and explain the different values of art therapy, either in groups or on an individual basis. And so every week we have a different type of workshop available. Sometimes we have repeats of the same workshop, just people find it so interesting that we'll find another educational topic to talk about from the presenter. But we started those back in the spring, and they've become so popular. We're actually full of presenters through the end of the year. So anytime we hear of some sort of activity or type of service that we think could benefit seniors, we reach out to the individual or business and ask if they'd like to come and give an educational piece. And most of these people offer services outside of just the workshop. So if somebody finds the services to be very helpful, they can continue to work with the presenter. So the workshops have been really fun, and there's such a wide variety of different topics that we cover. The Brain Games is one of our virtual activities that I actually started over the pandemic, and it's a once a week, Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. We have people sign in on Zoom, the same faces, and sometimes we get some new ones. And it's a hour's worth of cognitive exercises and just word games that we can play along with each other. So there are no points, there's no competition. I read off some different questions, and some of it's trivia, some of it's memory games, some of it's rearranging letters to make different words. So it's really fun, and there's a great variety of games that we play. And then the mindful meditation class, that's one that we started a couple of months ago. That class is provided to us by the Washtenaw Community College. And there's a senior focus program that they have instructors that provide these different types of interest classes. And so we have mindful meditation in one of our quieter areas of the senior center, where people can learn to practice meditation and be able to take home some of the skills that they learn here and use them by themselves.
Wow, you have a lot going on. I do have one question about mindful meditation. I always misplace my keys and my phone. Would that help me to remember where I put it?
I don't know that it would necessarily help you remember where you put it, but it might help keep you calmer in the process of being able to find them. Because I find meditation helps clear the mind of things that aren't necessary to be thinking about. So once you get rid of some of those, some of the static going on in your head, it's easier to see with more clarity. Good question.
That is true. And now that I think about it, first I'm panicked and I'm just throwing everything all over the house. It looks like a robber came in when I'm done, and I still haven't found it. And then I just have to sit down and take a few breaths. And by golly, if I don't remember where I put it, I had put papers on top of it. I have a terrible habit of doing that when I'm cleaning. I just put things on top of other things, and that's how they disappear.
I lose my glasses, and they're usually on the top of my head. So.
Oh, I know, it's fun. Well, those are great. Oh, I'll tell you what, those are really awesome. So is there anything else that you'd like the audience to know about?
Yes. So aside from the programs that you mentioned, we have added additional Tai Chi classes, a senior strength training class,
Ooh.
and a line dancing class, which is very, very, very popular. We brought our watercolor class that we had prior to the pandemic back in person. So we've moved it into our large gallery room so we can have even more students. And we've added a few other programs that we host, or we are the instructors. And the biggest one is the Friday morning senior park walks. And so every Friday we meet at a different City of Ann Arbor park, and we walk for an hour. The whole trip is a mile there and back. And we visit the park beforehand to make sure that the terrain is suitable for all people. And we meet there, walk around, get back to the parking lot, have snacks and mingle. And it's fun because everyone gets out in the community and you all learn about a different park that most of us have never been to before, because the city has over than 162 parks. And so this week, our last walk will be wrapping up for the year just because of the weather. And since we won't be walking outside, we're going to have a morning brunch bunch on Fridays at the same time of the walk, where people can come and we will have activities and just be able to get together still, because so many people have become friends through meeting at these park walks.
Yes, that's awesome. You have so many wonderful things going on. I'm just so impressed. I have a question about the strength training. How are you doing that? You don't have a strength training room with the machines and everything, do you?
We don't. We're not big enough to have equipment, large equipment, but we
Uh-huh.
do have small hand weights.
Yeah.
And we do there are different stretches and ways that you
Mhm.
can strengthen your body and increase balance and mobility
Yeah.
without using large equipment. So we offer it, but we have all of the equipment here too.
Yes, it just sounds wonderful. And line dancing, I thought you always had line dancing. I didn't realize that you hadn't. Dee is teaching that, is she not?
She is, yes.
Oh, I love her. She's an excellent, excellent teacher, just tremendous.
Wonderful.
And
We
Mark
do
Harris is teaching teaching cognitive. I need this
cognitive cognitive
exercises. Is that
exercise.
correct?
Yep, he's
Yeah.
downstairs as we speak.
He used the stretch bands too and the balls
Yep.
when he taught it back when I was younger, but I was still old, if you know what I mean. And and he's great also. Both of those two are just fun people, really, really fun. So, oh, you've got a good thing going. I want to congratulate you for probably all of the thought and the time that you had to put into all of these programs and get them all organized. You've done a great job.
Thank you, Linda. And I couldn't do it without my two assistant supervisors, Heather and Mary Ann.
Wow. Well, keep up the good work. And thank you, Brittany, for so much for coming in today. I feel like there was just a lot of new stuff today, and that was really great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And don't forget to keep checking out our website, because we're always looking for new ways to add programming.
Good, good. Yes, thank you. All right. And to our audience, thank you for watching. Now, go on, get going, get out to Ann Arbor Senior Center. You're missing all the fun. Have a great time while you're there. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on Senior Moments. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Linda Brayman, wishing you a happy Thanksgiving.